Give me the ding.
Ding!
And here we are live. Welcome to the Rogue Show, the Batman Arkham Knight, and I forget what I wrote at the end of it, launcher edition. We're 4 days away from the release of Batman Arkham Knight, so it was...
We're off air, dude. We're not.
Oh, we're off air?
Yeah. I went and beding. Now we're live.
Now we're live. Okay. So if you're watching this, we went back and on back. Mine are still showing live. So I'm unable to post a link. So if anybody is able to post a link on the Rogue Show page or anywhere else on Facebook, feel free to do so. So welcome to the show. And for once, we're about right on time. So I appreciate the internet working properly. Right off the bat, this is hopefully going to be a spoiler-free show. The reason I say hopefully, some of the things that we're probably going to talk about are speculations that we may have and just thoughts and ideas. So everything that I'm planning on saying, I do not know anything. It's just an idea. And if I happen to have found out something, I am not going to mention it here just because. So we have with us ODC, that's me, back with us again on the Rogue Show. How you doing, buddy?
There we go. There. I'm always like confused where my... Yeah. So I'm using my iPads. I'm like, it's over here. How's it going, guys?
And Tim is back with us again from the Bat Fans Without Pants and the 36-inch waist, and I have lost how long your guys' title is. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing good, Rob. Good to be back, too, especially now with Arkham Knight just a few days away. Can't wait.
Can you believe we're to a point where, well, first of all, you know, when this was announced back in, I had some notes here somewhere, it was announced back in May 20th of 2013 was when we had the first blurb from Kevin Conroy on Twitter saying, hey, I'm voicing Batman in a different Arkham game, but it's not Batman Arkham Origins. And then immediately his tweet was taken down. So as we were getting ready to play Batman Arkham Origins, what did you guys think about hearing that officially, well, I should say unofficially, that there was a game in the works from Rocksteady? Did that make you guys just want to get through Origins that much faster to get to this moment right now, or did you think, you know, what were you thinking? Let's start with Anthony.
Well, I thought it was like, I knew it was like an inevitable thing. What I didn't know if it was going to be the last one or not. Unfortunately, it's going to be the last one, but... I knew it was going to happen. I was actually trying to take my time with Origins so I can prolong the inevitable last game, the final game. But yeah, I was excited about it when I first heard the blurb, and then when I found out it was going to be released, what was it, 2014? It was supposed to be released 2014, and then I was like, whoa, that's like in a few months. It's like, what was it, 9 months after... or 11 months after Origins?
Yeah.
They were going to release it originally?
Yeah, Origins was released on October 25th, and then the original release date for Arkham Knight was October 14th.
Yeah, 1 year. So 1 year almost to the day. Yeah. So that was like really astounding that they were going to just kind of pump that out. But really, it wasn't like they rushed it because they had the time from City, which was 2011, all the way to now to really put the final finishing touches on the game. So I think I was frustrated with the game at first because I was like, oh, they keep pushing it back, Why do they keep pushing it back? But it makes sense. Like, if you want it not to be like alpha or beta, you want to take your time with the game to make it look and feel right. So I don't mind that they pushed it back because obviously they wanted to do it. And I think the other reason was they wanted to like they wanted to have something for E3, you know.
Yeah.
But so it made sense. But I was excited, super excited.
Tim, what about you, sir?
Yeah, I remember when Kevin Conroy put that tweet out. I think that was before like the initial voice cast was announced for Arkham Origins. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? Is he not doing Origins, or is he? So when it came out that he wasn't, it was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. But I guess there's another game coming pretty soon, so that's cool. So. It wasn't. I didn't have the feeling where Origins is just going to be like the side game, hurry up and get through it, and then wait for Arkham Knight to come out. I was super excited for Origins, and when we talked about that before a few years ago, I mean, I loved that game. It was, I wouldn't say the best out of all the Arkham games, but it's just as good as I thought as some of the other ones. I mean, the voice actors were great in it. That wasn't a deterrent, even though, I mean, it's hard to top Conroy and Mark Hamill, but they did a good job in there. So when I played Origins, it wasn't like, okay, let's just get this over with. I love that game. There were some awesome boss battles in there and a cool story in too. So after I played that, I was just more excited for the new game. And then when we found out it was going to be Arkham Knight and it's Rocksteady's last game, I mean, it just got the excitement level higher and higher the more we found out about it. So, yeah, I was excited for both of them. And then the game got delayed. I mean, it was disappointing to hear it, but like you said, Anthony, it's going to be for the greater good of us gamers playing a nice, polished game. Nothing's going to be rushed where they had to take anything out or they couldn't put this in because they didn't have enough time. They pretty much got everything they wanted to put in there. So I think once we finally play it, it's all going to work out for the better when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Real quick, what version of the game is everybody getting a hold of? I am lucky enough that I talked myself out of getting the Batmobile edition, which I think we'll get into a discussion about that, but I'm getting the collector's edition, the Batman statue, and what drew me to it was actually everything other than the statue. I thought the statue was cool, but the new 52 skin pack, I really wanted the book, like the art book, the steel case, the comic book that was in there. I think there's something else. So, and the statue is going to be kind of cool too. We'll set with my Joker one, wherever it's at in the room. What about the rest of you guys? Anthony, which one are you picking up?
I just did a regular GameStop because I wanted the Red Hood pack, and it's weird. Like I went to GameStop. What was it? The last 2 weeks in a row, and I've been calling them like every day, and they still don't have the season pass available. I'm like, what do you guys wait until the last minute to offer the season pass? I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, I don't know why they're not releasing it yet. I have no idea. I'm like, so I'm gonna call tomorrow again. But yeah, I just got the regular the bundle pack I got with my PS4 that I ordered. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I also got mine at a GameStop too, so I'll get, not only getting the new 52 skins and the collector's edition, but getting Red Hood, which is a big thing. And I got to give a shout out to my local GameStop that gave me all this crap that you see behind me. So my wife, my wife will be glad when all this stuff is probably gone from the house. But I'm keeping it. She doesn't know. So yeah, I was just saying when I asked the guy at GameStop, and he said, I think they're waiting till the launch of the game. He said the season pass is going to be 6 months. The first content's going to be 6 months after the game is out. So he said they may just be waiting for some time to go by and then start announcing it. Tim, what are you picking up?
Yeah, I'm just unfortunately only able to get the regular standard game edition, none of the armored edition or special one. So I just pre-ordered mine through Amazon. So hopefully to get a day of. I know I got an email saying guaranteed delivery date, like the 23rd, but I'm kind of, there's a part of me hoping, what if I get it a day early?
Then I want to know where you live, because I'm going to hang out with you till I get mine. Anthony's going to come over too. We won't play. We'll just watch. How about that?
Yeah. That's fine. Or when we do the team up takedowns, you can switch over if someone wants to be Robin or Nightwing while I be Batman or something like that.
All right, sweet.
Okay. All right. You talked me into the end of that part. What else did I have here real quick? We talked about the game getting pushed back from October 14th of 2014. Then it gets pushed back to June 2nd. And then I can't remember how long it was until they end up pushing it back another 3 weeks. And that 3 weeks till June 23rd, which ironically is the 26th anniversary of the '89 Batman film. So I'm half wondering, is this going to be the game where we're going to get a Michael Keaton skin and the '89 Batmobile and all that type of stuff?
Oh, that would be amazing.
that would be perfect, because they're going to do I know they're going to do a bunch of different skins for the Batmobiles, but I've seen that, like, the '66 Batmobile skin, and it's just kind of like the Batmobile that's in the game with like decorations from the '66 Batmobile. It doesn't look like it's a totally different car. So I don't know if they're only doing it with that one, or if they're doing that with everything, kind of theming the original Batmobile in the game with like just other portions of like other looks for the other Batmobiles on that Batmobile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're actually going to get different Batmobiles. I think people are going to be a little taken back, because I don't know if we're going to be getting like different looking Batmobiles in this game.
I know I've got it in the notes here, but I'll just say it now. In the season pass, I think one of the things that they had said was, excuse me, there'll be, you know, a level for Robin, a level for Nightwing, a level for Batgirl, you know, that type of stuff. But I also think it said other vehicles and racetracks. So
Okay.
I think you're right in the fact that the Arkham Knight Batmobile has parts that spread out. It's got a cannon, which the 66 version, you can't like split that car in half and do stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm half wondering if we won't see the skins for the other like the actual like the Batman Forever Batmobile or whatever it is. Maybe that's the other vehicles they're talking about where they don't have to do anything to the car if it's a straight up, you know, racetrack type of thing. You got to get from point A to point B, and then you can have all the different cars or a bat cycle or, you know, or whatever. So we know a little bit about the season pass, but they haven't specifically said. So I think you're right. The 66 Batmobile is just basically going to be the Arkham Knight Batmobile, just painted with the hot orange, you know, stripe or whatever.
Yep. Which is kind of a shame because it would be nice to see that, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they could totally get away with doing the 89 Batmobile and still having the cannons and using those cannons that were on the sides of the, like the machine guns that popped out.
Yeah.
They could get away with that and do that, but
then you've got the whole pivoting aspect of the car being able to rotate on all four tires, and
that's tough though. Yeah.
So I can see a little bit of that. Tim, am I correct in saying that you are an Xbox player? Is that correct?
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
Right now, it's the only current gen system I have is Xbox One. So.
And I remember that I've always seemed like I've always been behind on my generation systems. That I got the PS3 just about the time the PS4 was rolling around. So I remember hearing about the game and going, all right, it's for it's going to come on a PS3. Then I think Anthony, you and I might have talked about it in our very first Arkham Knight video we did. Mm-hmm. That the graphics for the Batmobile alone would fill up the hard drives for both the PS4,
that's crazy,
PS3, and 360. So at that point, I was like, I guess I'm going to have to buy a next-gen system. I would play this. Or all I would do is be able to load the Batmobile and just look at it and go, that's great. I have no Batman drive, and I have no street. It's just a car. So,
yeah, I know the PS4 has the Scarecrow DLC exclusive for right now, so I was like, I saw that like, it's gonna be hard to wait a little bit for until the exclusivity goes around for that, but it's gonna be worth it because that looks awesome.
Well, and I've kind of feel the same way. I'm a big Tomb Raider fan, and I'm like, oh great, the new Tomb Raider's coming, but only for Xbox One right now. So
yeah, that was kind of rough, especially after playing the previous Tomb Raider. How good that game was.
Yeah.
And the E3 footage of the new Tomb Raider just looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
We have a great game to play right after Arkham Knight. Or not right after, but by the time we're done, getting everything coming out.
Yeah. And like I said, Anthony and I will be over at your house hanging out while you're playing Tomb Raider. So
okay, cool.
have some pizza rolls ready. Let's see. Got a bunch of notes here. Let's get into the cancellation. It's one of the first things on my notes. I think I had the day right. I think it was last Wednesday was when Warner Brothers, I think, actually put out the press release that they were canceling the collector's edition. That's the first part that I saw was the collector's edition, and I read, oh, it's the Batmobile, because I think Triforce was making that statue, and Triforce is known for doing some amazing statue work. They've done some other ones for Arkham Origins. There's a full like Batman cowl that lights up, and the fist and gauntlet and batarang, which is like $400 or $500. So it was kind of cool to see that they were going to do a Batmobile for the collector's edition. And then it almost felt like it's the 11th hour where Warner Brothers is like, yeah, the quality's not that good, so we're going to completely cancel the collector's edition. So just like with any game that has a collector's edition, if you're not going out and pre-ordering that sucker right when they announce it, you're probably not going to get it. So I know none of us have that. I felt like I was like one step closer, like, oh, I got the Batman statue. Hope there's nothing wrong with that. How do you feel about that? I mean, I've kind of been reading stuff online. I get why people are upset about it, but I'm coming at it from the point of view, it could have been the other way around. Warner Brothers could have looked at it and went, nah, all right, send it to you. And then you pay $200 and you get it, and you go, this thing's a piece of crap. So, yeah, it sucks that you're not getting it. The thing that I guess I would be upset about is they are getting the DLC the New 52 skins, and I think even though if you didn't, let's say you ordered it from Amazon, you are still getting the GameStop exclusive Red Hood skin pack and story mission. So at least you're getting that, but you're not getting the steel book, you're not getting the comic book, you're not getting the art book. So what do you guys think about just the basically last minute week before decision to cancel the game, or the game, but the collector's edition? Anthony?
You know, I'm all about quality control in my reviews and everything. So I have no problem with them saying this isn't good enough. We have to cancel this. This is not quality enough. So I have zero problem with that. I know people are upset that pre-ordered it. I necessarily didn't pre-order it because I couldn't, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, really. See, you missed out on something that wasn't that great to begin with because they said it wasn't good enough. So if it's not good enough for them, it's not good enough for us. So I have no problem with it.
Tim?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, I'm sure if I was someone who pre-ordered that collector's edition and like being so close to the release too, and then you get that email, it's gotta be, oh, come on, because you're probably super excited for it. But yeah, then I agree with you guys are saying how it's good that they're just not putting anything out there, and then you're going to be super disappointed when you say I paid like what $200 for this and it's a piece of crap. So that's good. But at the same time too, if you're pre-order that when you're not getting, like you mentioned, Rob, like the steel book and some of the other collectible stuff in there, it's going to be hard to get if you really wanted that stuff too. So it's kind of a mixed bag situation. But I mean, they're giving them. It's not like they're just canceling that and not getting them anything else to compensate it. Like you said, Rob, they're getting some of the DLC pack and that other stuff. So yeah, just disappointing when it's just this close. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people are kind of upset about too, when it's really just a few days away and they get that email. So, but hopefully once they get the game and they're playing it, it'll start making them feel better by how awesome the game's going to be.
Yeah, and I think that's got to say a lot for Rocksteady and I about said Montreal, but Rocksteady, that they did look at it and go, we want you to have a really good experience with the game, and we're even willing to sacrifice getting however many thousands of people that pre-ordered it, $200 per all those people. We're willing to sacrifice that just so you get a good experience of the game. And sorry about the other content. We just want you to enjoy the game. So yeah, I just read that, and then I just read this last night, which I've got it here in front of me. This came from videogames.com. A little shout out to them. This is from Amazon. I believe this is from Amazon UK. It says Amazon has informed customers that the exclusive Batman Arkham Knight limited edition, the Gotham Knight statue, has been delayed and could arrive as late as July 14th. It says we wanted to let you know that Batman Arkham Knight, Amazon.co.uk, there's a lot here to read, exclusive edition has been delayed due to packaging issues. We want to ensure you that your order reaches you in the pristine condition of which you ordered it. With the packaging update should arrive to you no later than the 14th of July 2015. So that would kind of suck too a little bit to go, okay, well at least I'm getting the statue, and if I'm in the UK, so I'm wondering if it's the literal packaging that the box comes in, or if it's the packaging that has to go across the seas or be in the air that they feel it may not be able to withstand the journey. I'm not entirely sure. Anthony has speculated that it could be possibly a spoiler due to that, but I'm also getting the statue version, so when I pick it up, if that spoiler's there right off the bat, I guess I'm gonna know. So I think I said at the beginning of the show we're not gonna be talking spoilerish. So I guess if you want to know and you're one of those people, you can just go to Google and type in whatever you want to know. So I just kind of hope this is the last hiccup for the game. All three of us had said that we enjoyed Arkham Origins. I know it's probably the longest Arkham game that I've continuously played. Once I beat the main story and collected all the Riddler trophies, I was head first deep into the multiplayer, and I was just on it a few hours ago before doing this. So I've been playing the Arkham Origins multiplayer consistently since the game has launched. So I think that goes to the credit of Montreal. and somebody pointed out that Montreal actually has a credit in this game, that they worked in some part with Rocksteady. How do you guys feel about Montreal having their name attached to this game? Does that bother you at all, Anthony?
No, it doesn't bother me at all, and I'm glad you brought up Warner Brothers Montreal because I feel like, and I want to just touch on Arkham Origins for a second. I feel like that game really didn't get its just due, even though I had some issues with the story being, the whole Black Mask situation. Spoiler alert: if you haven't figured that out, if you haven't played that game by now, you're lost. But when we find out that the Joker's playing Black Mask, it bothered me because I'm Black Mask is my favorite villain, so that was like my huge setback. That and another game about the Joker, but that's a different story for a different time. But Arkham Origins as a game is just like one of those games where it's kind of like the in between for like was it like Call of Duty? You know how Call of Duty had like World at War, and it was like by Treyarch. It was by a different. Yeah. It was like, but that was still a good game, and people like overlook it all the time because they see all the other Call of Duty games. It was like that in between game for like the Arkham series, and it really didn't get its just due. Granted, it had its issues in the beginning, but they patched it and they fixed it, and I just think it's one of those games where it really gets overlooked because of the previous two, and as a game, I think it works better than Arkham City and has more to offer than Arkham City, but people yet still like Arkham City over it. I think it's probably because Conroy's not in it and Hamill's not in it, and there's certain other things, but overall as a game, I think it's a really good game, and if you guys haven't played it, you should.
Yeah.
But
Tim.
that's a little tidbit I just wanted to say about Arkham Origins because it really doesn't get its just due, and it should.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I have no problem at all with Montreal helping out in whatever way for Arkham Knight. So I think it's just cool, too, that Rocksteady is utilizing them, too, because you kind of brought up the Call of Duty scenario, Anthony, and I kind of heard, too, like, before that Treyarch and Infinity Ward, there was, like, a rivalry going on there, so I wouldn't think they would help each other out that much.
Yeah, that's true.
That one of those Montreal and Rocksteady can work together, the Arkham Knight. So curious to see what aspect they're working on, though, because I didn't actually hear that, so I think that's pretty cool, though. So
I'm trying to remember the YouTube channel that I watch. I would love to get the guy. I think it's Arkham Knight videos or Batman Arkham Knight. He does a lot of the
he'll
put like a still image of this, and then there's text over it and just a music score. Solid videos.
Yep.
And somebody had a picture of credits from one of the Arkham Insider videos that Rocksteady is doing, and you can see their credit scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I don't think this isn't a spoiler. It's in the trailer, one of the first official trailers of seeing Firefly. We know that Firefly was a Montreal character that they got to use. So Arkham Knight is using Firefly, and I believe it's the same voice actor. And it is said that Firefly is out for revenge from the previous, from one of their last meetings, which I'm assuming they're referring to Origins. So I half wonder if they were like, well, hey, Firefly, here you guys go. You can do the whole Firefly scenario. It can be your thing, and you plan it out. I mean, and maybe that was also due to the part of them pushing the game back, that the game is it's going to be so large, there's so much to do, that maybe they had to kind of farm some stuff out to different places where Rocksteady could oversee everything, but they couldn't physically take control of the whole thing, if that makes sense. So I don't know.
Yeah, that Firefly boss fight was one of the best in the game, so that's what they're taking from Origins.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
That's my favorite boss fight. It was just amazing.
Yeah, and I think that goes right up there with Mr. Freeze. I was torn between the Mr. Freeze Arkham City boss fight and the Firefly. I think those are right on par with each other, and I think they were both executed, beautifully.
Yeah. Yeah, they were both good.
Let me see here. We had talked about the DLC Season Pass. The next thing I have in my notes is what skins would you guys like to see in the game, and what do you think about the skins where in the previous games the skins have generally looked like, oh, this came right out of the comics, but for the Arkham Knight now they're kind of Arkhamizing, if that's even a real word. It is today, Arkhamizing the skins, like the Batman Beyond skin. At first, I thought,
Yeah.
oh, it looks like it's the Arkham Knight, but it's not. You could tell it's the Batman Beyond, but it looks like they took the Arkham Knight and reskinned it. So how do you feel about the way they're doing the skins this time, where they're trying to make them more fit into the Arkham universe?
I think it looks great. I thought at first it kind of like took me a while to kind of like accept but I was like, okay, so they're just doing their own view on what Batman Beyond would look like, and he's a little militarized, which is like, but I think overall it looks great. It just kind of looks like he's got like a mouthpiece over like a regular Batman cowl. If you like when you look at it, it looks like he's got like a black mouthpiece over it. So, well, it's just their take on Batman Beyond. I don't have a problem with that. I think a lot of people would like to see the comic version like they did in Arkham City of Batman Beyond, but we already got that version, so we got a different version this time. I don't have a problem with that. Who I'd like to see? Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Where to start? I would like to see... oh, you're going to come back? Okay.
No, I'll say, well, while you're trying to decide and narrow it down between 500 versions, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Because that does happen with me. I'd like to see this. I would like to see at least 2 skins for each Robin. So
Yes.
I'd like to see like New 52 Red Robin. I'd like to see, because we already got the original Red Robin look in Arkham. What was that? Was that Arkham
City.
Arkham City? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm mixing. There's so many Arkham.
Right.
Mixing them up. But I'd like to see like original like 90s Tim Drake.
Right.
Like, and then I'd like to see like New 52 Tim Drake. I'd like to see like a New 52. I think I'd like to see a New 52 of everyone, pretty much. Since we got Batman, I think we should get Red Hood. We should get Tim. We should get Nightwing. We should get everyone.
Now, they just confirmed the season pass for the Statue Collector's Edition does come with New 52 Batman, New 52 Nightwing, and this is the interesting one: New 52 Dick Grayson Robin. So
okay.
So we're getting a New 52 Robin. I was hoping for Tim Drake in his glider cape. I thought that'd be pretty cool, but they went Dick Grayson route. So it is the 75th anniversary of Robin Dick Grayson this year, so maybe that's why.
That's probably why
they chose that. Tim, what about some skins for you that if you're like, oh, if they do these couple skins, I'll be happy?
Yeah, I think I'd like to see more use some of the movie stuff, because it seems like they always, for most past Arkham games and even other superhero games, they tend not to do like some of the movie versions. So if we got like the Chris Nolan suits from Dark Knight Rises, and even the original one from Batman Begins, even though it's not my favorite, it'd still be cool to see. And then Michael Keaton's first 2 suits. I mean, if we got the Batman Returns ones, I think that'd be really awesome to get.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
I know we've gotten previous animated series Batman skins, but after we got the one from the new Batman Adventures, where it's just the black and gray design, I would be ecstatic for that one, because that's not only my favorite design, but just my favorite interpretation of the character too throughout the animated series. So,
yeah,
I'd probably put those ones as my top.
And how cool would the Dark Knight skins? They're very Arkhamized, right now. They're very militaristic.
Yeah, like they fit perfectly, I think.
Yeah, like that fit in, like you said, spot on. Let's see, dual play. I thought that's where they really had me excited. Not that I wasn't already excited for the game, but being able to go in and bust up the Penguin and being able to switch seamlessly between Nightwing and Batman, or Batman and Robin, and Batman and Catwoman. I just think that opens up a world of possibilities of gameplay. And then if you're somebody like me that after you're done playing, you to go play the challenge maps, and how cool would it be to be able to do dual play, and then you get to select your 2 combos. Okay, I'm going to put Robin and Nightwing together, or Catwoman and Nightwing together. And I would love them to take it a step farther with Harley Quinn being playable and Red Hood being playable, that you could just intermix everybody all together. I think the challenge maps would just get so in-depth. There'd be trophies and awards for everything. So what do you guys think of the dual play? Do you think it's going to last beyond what we've seen, or is it going to be, okay, you get 1 time with Robin, 1 time with Nightwing, and 1 time with Catwoman? Anthony?
I think it's going to be your choice. That's what I think. I think you're going to have your choice of who you want to team up with. or what? You know what? This game is very segregated when it comes to. That's what I keep hearing. When it comes to when you switch as like Nightwing, you're going to be in Bloodhaven. Like, so maybe it depends on where the boss battle is, because you're going to have different boss battles in different areas. Like in the DLC for Harley Quinn, it's going to be in Bloodhaven. Like let's say Batman goes to Bloodhaven, like maybe you can only team up with Nightwing in Bloodhaven, or when you go to Chinatown, you can only you can't team up with Red Hood, sorry. You go somewhere else, you team up with Tim, or you go like downtown, you team up with like Catwoman or something. Maybe that's how it'll be. But I feel like it should be your choice. Like before the boss battle starts, like you kind of like just have a little screen that pops up and you choose one. I think that would be the most efficient way, because what if you don't feel like teaming up with Catwoman, or what if you don't feel like teaming up with or Nightwing or whatever. I feel like the player should have the choice of doing that, but they might not go that route. What is interesting to me though is that Red Hood is not a team-upable. That's not a word. not an option for a team up, which makes me kind of wonder about things a little bit. Like, because I heard that the DLC for Red Hood is going to be like an intertwining story while you're playing the game. That's what I heard. Okay. So he's already an established character. I'm just very skeptical of how they're going to add him in with a story, and how he's just kind of popped up all of a sudden when the Joker in the previous game has said that, I thought I killed you once, when you have that Joker boss battle in the Funhouse, I think it is. So it's going to be very interesting how they do that, but it just kind of brings up a question mark. Maybe it's not an intertwining story. I don't know. Maybe there was false information that I got, but that's what I heard, so it's a little weird.
Tim, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the dual play is probably going to end up being like scripted events for specific levels, kind of what you're talking about. Unfortunately, I think it would be cool if you could choose which partner you wanted to team up with and do those dual play combos. I'm hoping like maybe once you beat the game and you're just like free roaming through the streets of Gotham, you'll be able to have that option. But part of me is thinking that it's going to be something where we're going to have more of in the campaign mode, where it's like it's so cool, but we didn't get a lot of it, especially if it's just for like certain sequences or boss fights in the game. So, but man, when I saw that trailer for that first dual play, I was like, oh man, this is like the best new combat feature that worked on a new Arkham game. It looks so cool. So, like, I always wanted some way for co-op to be part of the Arkham series, and while this isn't co-op, I just still like the idea of Batman finally teaming up with other members of like the Bat family and the missions that we have, and not just like the challenge maps or just DLC stuff. And in the actual story campaign, he's actually going to be teaming up with them in combat. So that got me super excited. So yeah, and hopefully it'll be enough where we're satisfied where there's enough of that dual play mode in there. But we'll see. I'm just kind of keeping my expectations in check as far as how much we're actually going to be using that.
Yeah.
Something I've always liked about the Arkham games is you start learning, the core mechanics through the game, and then by the time you get to the final boss battle, it's always, okay, now everything that you've learned for this whole entire game, you have to do in this last set. So wouldn't it be cool in the final stages, because we've seen the picture from that gameplay of Batman standing on the roof and then Nightwing and Robin on either side of Batman. So how cool would that be in the final boss battle, if you're fighting the Arkham Knight or whatever, that now you're switching between all three, and then Catwoman jumps in, so you have all four to control and do whatever. That blows my mind just saying that. If that is in the game, after I play the game, I'll just sell it and go, I don't need to see anything else ever. That will blow my mind if that's in the game. If you can swing between all four or five people, and then if they just drop Red Hood in there somewhere, so. Yeah,
if that happened, like, Arkham Knight would be the most OP character of all time, and Batman needs all those characters to help beat him.
Right.
It'd be like the next Superman. I need help. I need the whole family here. Where's Barbara? Get her in
here. Some of the animals too get Bat Cow.
Yeah. Tim just said we get, Damien shows up, we get Bat Cow, we get Alfred the cat. Even from this right here. maybe Goliath swings in at the last possible minute. So,
Throw Frankenstein in there too. Why not?
And to top it all off, have Batmite come in and do the final blow.
I think that is going to be the actual ending of the game. Here, I said no spoilers, but the spoiler is it's all a dream in Batmite's head. And he's like, wouldn't this be a great game? So everything from Asylum has just been a dream. That Scarecrow's been real. He's just been messing with Batmite's head. So that's spoilers. There you go. That's the ending of the game. Sorry to
You know what? I actually wouldn't be too upset if that was the case.
Brave and the Bold was kind of ended that way a little bit.
Yeah.
So I dug that series finale. So I was like, oh, okay, I can deal with that.
Yet another show that doesn't get its just due.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
such a good show.
That's so good.
Let's see. I've got the camera on you just because I don't want to be on camera anymore, Anthony. So let's see. Okay. What villains? Since we were talking about heroes and everything, what villains? I felt kind of like the downside of Origins. I felt like we knew every single villain we were going to face. There were no surprises. At least as far as the villains, like, okay, I haven't fought Electrocutioner yet. Okay, there's Electrocutioner. Now I got Shiva. Now I got this person. I kind of like it that Rocksteady is keeping things close to the chest where they haven't announced everybody. I mean, I can't believe we're not going to see Mr. Freeze. I'll be surprised if we don't see Hush. And so who are you hoping that is going to make a return to the series, and who do you hope may, surprise? Are we going to get Killer Moth? So, Anthony,
man, I was really hoping for Man-Bat in this story somewhere, a DLC something, and because that's one of my favorite stories is the Man-Bat story.
Gliding has improved so much that could work.
It could work so well, especially with the physics in the game. Like you would see the wind going through his wings and everything. Like I was really hoping for Man-Bat somewhere. If they just threw him in for a small side mission or something, just explaining a story on him, it would have been so great. Especially because there's a lot of hidden things for Paul Dini in the what was it, the diner's called Paulie's.
Yeah,
that's like a nod to him. So they love Paul Dini, which is really awesome for me, especially for us animated fellows,
Yes.
So I thought they could have thrown Man-Bat in there. I was hoping for that. Other villains, oh boy, we've already seen Raish. I think we're good on that. But I think he might pop up though, because he did vanish. Remember, he vanishes at the end. So I feel like something having to do with Raish is going to be in the game. So, oh man, I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. It'd be fun to see Great White Shark. That would be fun.
Well, with Harley Quinn, I mean, having her DLC, I mean, part of the Suicide Squad. Who's to say we couldn't get a cameo somewhere in Bloodhaven?
Yeah, that's true. It could work. It could do that.
Tim, anybody off the top of your head that you want to see reprise from Asylum City Origins or somebody new?
Well, I think my top choice is actually already in the game and the main thread of the game, which I'm excited about, Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Because he's probably my second favorite Batman villain after Joker, and I loved what they did with him in Arkham Asylum. But at the same time, too, it was still kind of side quest based a little bit. So the fact that he's being brought the top tier villain in this game has me super excited. But as far as another one I like to see come back would be Clayface. I mean, that was an awesome battle in Arkham City, and to get more of that, I think would be cool. I mean, if they could just go all out, shape shifting galore, have him be huge.
So awesome.
That would be awesome. And as far as new villains, I've been on a Court of Owls trip lately, so I've been thinking that I want them in the movie, and if we got someone some way incorporated them into the game, that'd be awesome. Maybe it's DLC or a side quest mission where maybe throughout the game there's this mystery thread that Batman's going through too, and then once you make it to the end and you solve some of the puzzles or quests, and then you reveal the Court of Owls and you have a final boss fight with a Talon. I mean, that would be so cool to see a Talon on the
That'd be so awesome. They could do it they could do it even the Hush side mission.
Exactly, yeah.
They could do that.
The more you unravel the mystery, the more you find out about the Court of Owls, and then you face off against the Talon. That would be awesome.
It would be perfect.
I want to play Tim's version of the game.
Yeah, right.
That would be so cool.
We should have invented this game.
I know. Let us work at Rocksteady. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Anthony reminded me of something. You talked about Bloodhaven a couple times. When you get the game, you open it up. They have said that the Harley Quinn DLC is a prequel to the events that happen. Like she's going, I think, after Poison Ivy or something like that.
Okay.
So how do you play the game when you very first get it? Are you going to just play the actual Arkham Knight game, or are you going to jump into the Harley Quinn DLC and play it in for continuity's sake? Or are you just going to start the main game? Continuity police tells me play Harley first, but Batman says, I'm over here.
I'm right here, damn it. I've probably, oh man, I don't know. I'm probably going to play the Batgirl one first, because that's like the prequel of the prequel of the prequel.
Well, but you're not going to get that till 6 months after the game.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's right.
Are you going to wait 6 months?
No,
I guess not.
I guess not. So yeah, no, I mean, I like having everything in order. So I'll definitely play the DLC first and then get into the story, because I feel like you're gonna miss a chunk if you don't play that, you know.
Yeah, cool. Tim?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go straight into the main game first and start it the way I would imagine that Rocksteady would want players to go just straight to the game, those who don't have access to DLC. So, again, being a big Star Wars fan too, I'm used to seeing stuff out of order with prequels and then War series episodes airing before other ones that should take place before it. So it's all good when I go back and play the DLCs that take place beforehand. So
nice.
Are you excited? December is not that far away.
We're less than 6 months now.
I know.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, we may go off on a tangent here really quick about Star Wars.
Oh, not Star Wars. Oh.
We just lost a viewer. We were almost up to 10. We went down to 9. Those stupid Bat fans had to mention Star Wars. I'm out. Drop the mic and you're gone. Yeah, seeing a picture of Harrison Ford in the Millennium Falcon with their names are blanking on me right now. Shame on me. Yes. I thought that was pretty cool. That makes me go, okay, I know Batman's coming, but look, it's Han Solo.
Yeah. See, we're just fortunate to have all this cool stuff this whole year, man. We're talking about Arkham Knight, and then we're getting a new Star Wars movie 6 months later.
So awesome.
Yeah.
And then, March is not that far away.
That's the best part. Like, just 3 months after a Star Wars movie, we're getting Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, cool that's amazing.
We gained somebody. We mentioned Batman back. So.
Oh, see? Just keep saying Batman. Do we get like 4 more viewers?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. All right. Now
we're back. All right, we're somewhere. Oh, we lost another one. Somebody didn't want to hear it.
There's a Joker fan.
Yeah. Since you mentioned his name, it is in my notes here. I'm just going to kind of go out of order. I've been saying this for a while. There is, and again, I do not know anything. This is just, I'm pulling this out of my rear end. But there is no part of me whatsoever that believes the Joker is not in this game. I don't know if it's a Scarecrow hallucination, if it's the surprise, I've been here all along. I know Anthony's not going, yay, it's exactly what I want. But the whole series has started with, it's been Batman versus the Joker. So it would not surprise me in the least to end up, two things that I would like to see happen. Us end the game in the asylum. I think that would be the fitting end of the series, to put it right where it began and right where it ended, to bookend it just right. And even if the Joker shows up as a hallucination from the Scarecrow at the end of the game, that the Batman has to work through everything that happened after Arkham City, or surprise the Joker's been alive this whole entire time. Is that something you want to see? Do you want to see the Joker come back in some type of form, or do you just kind of want it to, yeah, he's dead, we're moving on? Anthony?
No, I don't want him in the game at all. I want him to goodbye. I want him to be in the beginning, getting burnt up, and then goodbye. Enough is enough with that character. Okay, I've had enough. 3 games, that's enough. But I know he's going to be in the game. I've come to grips with that. It's fine. I'm past it. But I don't think I don't think we're gonna see a boss battle. I don't think it's gonna be anything like that. I just think there's gonna be like flashbacks, possibly a hallucination of him with Scarecrow. You know what? There's this little thing that's kicking me, and it's like, for some reason I don't want to rule it out, but like, what if the Joker is Scarecrow? Like that would just because Scarecrow is taller in this game, and he looks totally different from Asylum. So there's this little thing that doesn't want to rule it out, but that could be it. Like, it could be it. Who knows? I don't know. But I don't want to say that because I don't want to think that. But, but yeah, I think he's going to be in the game a little bit. That's about it. Yeah.
Well, and I'll tag on this. Mark Hamill has said he's done with the Joker. Do you think that's a red herring too? Because I think if the Joker is in this, that we're going to hear Mark Hamill's voice. Now, maybe that was recorded during Arkham City, and they were like, hey, before you go, we've been in development of this. We want you to record some extra dialogue, so that way when you walk away, you don't have to come back 2.5 years later. So I'll go back to you real quick. Do you think we're going to hear Mark Hamill's voice in the game?
Yeah,
the Joker.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I absolutely, of course, you have to have him, and it's Rocksteady's game. It's not Warner Brothers game. I think that I think you told me that he was seen coming out or talking about doing it or something. I can't remember what you told me, but
he was. There was a tweet I think that said heading to recording studio, recording new dialogue or something like that, and it's not for Star Wars. I think was the gist of that. So
see, yeah, that could have been it, but I feel like I don't know. It's tough to say because. When you told me about that was only like a couple months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it would be so late in the game for him to be doing it unless he's like only in it very minimal. And they were just like, okay, that's why we had to delay the game because we wanted Mark to come back and reprise his role as the Joker for these cut scenes or a little bit.
And Star Wars and
Yeah, maybe that's why he was contractually bound with Star Wars, so they had to put off the game a little bit for that, but they still wanted him in the game, so maybe they kind of worked around his schedule. Maybe that's a reason why they delayed it. Who knows? But I think that he'll be the voice. Like if you got Conroy back, you got Hamill back. I feel like.
Yeah.
Tim, your thoughts on Joker, Mr. J?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Anthony. Where we've had the 3 games now where Joker was like the main villain, so you would want to see someone else different be the main threat, but I think as much as the Arkham series has been about Batman, it's been about the Joker too. So
yeah,
in the end, I think it makes sense for the final game to still revolve around the Joker and him in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how they're going to do it, but still be like the main bad guy of the game, just to wrap everything up together. And I agree, somehow he's going to be involved with this. I mean, I'm still thinking, what if he's the Arkham Knight too? That's still lingering around my head too. I never thought of the Scarecrow. That actually kind of makes sense to the point you were making.
Anthony's going to be pulling down his controller if he's like.
But yeah, I agree too. Like, we're definitely going to hear Mark Hamill. We're definitely going to see Joker, and I think that new trailer we got in A3 with him burning up. That's probably something in there to throw off the fans and players. Saying, like, okay, you think he's dead, but he's coming back some way. So
that reminds me, has anybody been reading this Batman Arkham Knight comic series?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I haven't. No.
Written by Peter Tomasi.
I'm up to issue 17, so I'm all set up.
Yeah, I'm reading them as actual issues. So issue 5 is out. They're compiling them as they come out. So
okay.
It's like every 4 issues they make one actual issue. So you do see the Joker burning scene in the very first issue of the comic. So I wasn't surprised to see that in the trailer. It's like, okay, you saw that, and the gas comes out of the body and all that type of stuff. So yeah, that didn't surprise me. You did mention Arkham Knight. There he is. I speculated on it when I did my Red Hood action figure. The little Mattel version, I think I said it way back then, months ago. and then more recently the DC Collectibles version. I've gone on record as saying it. I think, it's just my own personal belief, but I think the Red Hood could be Jason Todd.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how this whole Red Hood thing could go in. They haven't exactly said what the Red Hood DLC timeline, if it does intermix with the story of the Arkham Knight video game, then I may be full of crap. Like I said, I don't know anything other than seeing versions of the action figure that have the exact same gun as the Red Hood figure does. I know guns are guns. Somebody could go to Walmart, buy the exact same gun as the next guy, or to a gun show. I get all that, but I have kind of said from the beginning that with whoever the Arkham Knight is, I think it's going to have to be somebody important enough, with them having to have bat ears on their costume and have Arkham in their name. It's going to have to mean something, not only to Batman, but it has to mean something personally to Bruce. People have said, oh, the Arkham Knight is a brand new character. You are absolutely 100% correct. The Arkham Knight is a new character. That does not mean the person inside the costume is not a new person. So, again, if I'm wrong, I will make a video going, I'm absolutely right. It's a totally brand new person. But the only reason I say that, you have 3 games. If it's nobody that we've seen, it's going to be somebody brand new. I don't know how you're going to, when the mask comes off the Arkham Knight, Bruce goes, oh, yeah, that's right, you were the janitor in Arkham Asylum that I accidentally bumped into.
That's what they should do. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So I might be wrong on the person, but I think it's going to be something when the mask comes off, everybody's going to be like, oh, holy crap, I did not see this coming, or dang it, Rob was absolutely right. So if I am right, then give me a like on this video. If not, then you give me a thumbs down. So a speculation time. Who do you think could be under there, or do you think it's just somebody's just really ticked off at Bruce Wayne? Anthony.
I think it's one of 2 people. It's either the Joker or it's Jason Todd. The reason why I think, like, I'm going to piggyback off Tim, I think it could be the Joker is because that suit, that helmet could be keeping him alive. Maybe he didn't really die to begin with. Maybe that's some sort of like a Darth Vader mask. Like, it's kind of like helping him breathe, keep him alive, stop the Titan from actually killing him, and he faked his death like a lot of people think that he did. But he's a little bit too good of a fighter that I've seen, and the Joker is not a well-trained fighter. So that really kind of makes me want to rule it out. So and the way he's designed, and the way, like, he's got like ammo on his legs, very similar to the design of Red Hood. He's very militaristic, kind of like how the Red Hood is he's kind of militaristic too. He uses guns, and the Arkham Knight uses guns, and the whole Under the Red Hood story has just got this theme to it in this game, and it really it fits, and I think it's just one of those 2 characters. I really think it's going to come down to one of those 2. It could work if, like, the Joker is playing as Scarecrow, because we've seen him play the switcheroo in 2 games now. If he's playing as a Scarecrow, and then we find out that he, like, brainwashed Jason Todd after he killed him, or some weird twist to it, where, like, because you see, like, the Arkham Knight in the trailer following behind, Scarecrow?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like he's working with him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how he's getting the funding for a whole army, but that's going to be interesting. But I think it's one of those 2 characters.
I'm going to piggyback off you real quick before we go over to Tim. I was on a discussion with somebody that were saying that's not the origin of Jason Todd. If you think about it right now, Tim Drake is not Robin. Barbara Gordon is not paralyzed in the comics. She's Batgirl. You have all these things that are different. Like, this is the Arkham universe.
Yeah.
So
it's its own story.
Yeah, it's its own story, and even the Mattel action figure, when it lists the identity of who Red Hood is, it said unknown. Yeah. So I think for most Batman fans, if this would have been called Batman Arkham Red Hood, you would have instantly known, oh, that's Jason Todd.
Yeah.
So I think you got to kind of throw a bone to work. If we hear, I think, any mention of Jason's name before the reveal of the Arkham Knight, I think that's on the tip of the nose. Like, why do they keep talking about Jason all of a sudden? Jason's name has never been spoken up until now. So I think this would be, and the trailer is called Father to Son. The last thing I'll throw out real quick, I've heard somebody else speculate that it could be Damian, a much older version of Damian Wayne under there. So I'll send it over to you, Tim.
Can I add one more thing?
No, I don't want you
What if what if the Arkham Knight is like a drone? What if he's like a fucking robot, right? And the Joker is controlling the Arkham Knight.
Huh.
I think that'd be a cop-out, man. I really hope that's not the case.
Tim's calling shenanigans right now.
I'm not going to rule it out, but it could happen. It could,
man. I'd be really disappointed if that's the case.
But Tim, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Joker and Jason Todd, they make sense, but at the same time, I think it's a little too obvious where I think right when you saw Arkham Knight for the first time, I think the first person you probably think of is Jason Todd. Yeah. So I would think Rocksteady would know that and wouldn't want to make it too obvious. So I'm going to kind of go a little way out there as far as theories of who it could possibly be.
Go for it.
You mentioned Damian as far as like a mature adult version of Damian, or even though he hasn't been introduced as like Robin or Bruce's son at all in the Arkham universe, I just kind of thought of like maybe he's like one of those Damian clones that were brought in, like Batman Incorporated, the one who actually killed Damian.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if they'll go that route since we don't even have the normal real Damian as part of the stories. But another crazy theory I have, and I don't know how they'll work this, but I think maybe the Arkham Knight, I mean, you're saying has to be like someone who's significant to Batman or Bruce in his life or his past. So I think, what if it's some way it could be like a family member of his? And I'm thinking, what if they do like some way Thomas Wayne or Martha? But what thing I think of Martha, because I go back to the Earth 1 story, where her last name was actually Arkham. So what if they're going to pull something from that, where she's tied into that, and I don't know how, but some way she's involved with the Arkham Knight. So it could be real crazy if they go that way, but at the same time, something unexpected. But if they do go something that way, I have confidence in Rocksteady that they'll deliver a story that makes it work. But I don't know. I'm just real anxious to find out who it is, because it could be either one. Like the point you made about Joker and Jason Todd, it makes sense, but will that be too obvious, and are my theories too out there as a big, just for shock value? So I don't know. I'm anxious to find out who he is or she is.
At this point, we can't rule anything out.
Exactly.
Point, you know,
you were talking about throwing the Court of the Owls in there. What if it's Lincoln March, his brother?
Something like that
from the Court of the Owls, and then that brings in that whole element for him. I mean, they could pull that route. I'm the brother you never knew you had, and by the way, here are all my talons. What?
What, the trunk?
Bring on the fourth game, man.
Yeah, bring on the fourth game. Come on, Warner Brothers Montreal, do it.
Let's see what else we got here. I said I wanted to kind of keep this to an hour. We're right around the 3 o'clock mark, so. And I'm sure you guys have things to enjoy your Saturday with. A couple things here. I said, do you think we'll end up back at the asylum? I know that's something I said I wanted, but do you think that the final place that we visit is the asylum, or do you think that's something that we end up kind of bebopping back and forth between?
I think, like, you mean like end the game in Arkham Asylum?
Yeah,
like the end scene or whatever? Or like the end boss battle or whatever.
Yeah, I'm saying the end boss battle. The last clue that Batman says is like, I have to go back to the asylum.
I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't even thought about that. It could. I mean, it could go full circle. It could do that, but maybe it could. It could do that. It could do that. It would work. It would definitely work. I feel like it would be a little bit like obvious though if it goes back there. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm like, I have no idea. So indecisive right now. It could do that, or it could just like end because we don't know how it's gonna end. Like what if Batman does die in this game? Who knows? It could end like with a memoriam scene or like something like that. Oh man, that's a tough call. It would work though if they did Asylum. So if they did that as the last boss battle or whatever.
Yeah. Tim?
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, it would be a nice way to wrap it all together, have the final battle take place where it all began in Arkham Asylum. So I think just from a story point, I would like to see that. But if they don't go that route, I think a cool place to have the final battle or final level would be either in Wayne Manor or in the original Batcave as like the final showdown to
That would
whatever
be
this
awesome.
main threat would be, the Joker or the Arkham Knight. So either one of those two, I'd be happy with.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Batcave. We got to actually, we kind of got to be in the Batcave in Arkham City. It was, I don't think it was fully realized in the challenge maps, but the Arkham Origins Batcave I thought was cool. You just really couldn't do much in there. I did like that if you didn't have to like leave the game to work on the challenge maps or whatever. You could actually, work out your new gadgets and things in the Batcave and go back and forth. I'm just remembering something else. They said at the beginning of the game, I'm going to tie this back in as I'm spiraling out of control here. They said at the beginning of the game, you were going to start in the Arkham City costume, and then at some point, Alfred's going to send you the Arkham Knight bat suit. In Rocksteady's video series they were doing, they said you can skin up right from the very onset of the game. So if you want to be
New 52.
New 52, or if you want to be in the Flashpoint Thomas Wayne Batman costume, you can. So I'm wondering if it's an option. Like, here's all the skins you have available. Pick the skin that you want, and then when Alfred sends you your costume, that becomes your costume for the game. They had also said that, in the previous games, you pick your costume, and then the cut scenes always revert back to the standard suit, and then you start back up again. So they're saying that if you're in the Batman 3000 skin, that every cut scene is going to be rendered in the current costume that you're in. So I think that's cool. No loading screens, that everything's going to work seamlessly. So my mind is just being expanded like crazy trying to figure out, there's no cutscenes, there's no loading this, that, or the other. You walk in a door and bam, you're right into the action. I cannot wait for this game.
Yeah.
One of the last things I want to ask you guys, are you doing the midnight launch? And if not, what is going to be like when you get the game and you set it down? What's your video game snack? You got your Mountain Dew, you got your chips, you got your pizza. Turning your cell phones off. That's just that's one of those things when I do. It's just like set it down. I've gone to the bathroom. I'm not planning on leaving for the next 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
It's just one of those cool things. Is anybody else doing the midnight launch? Anthony?
Yes, I am. I'll be standing in line waiting for my PS4 and my game.
So you have to actually go home and set everything up and get your accounts and all that stuff.
Yeah, I got to do all that, so I'll be a little behind. But I'm not going to exist for like 2 days.
Yeah,
I took off 2 days of work.
Nice.
I took off 3.
So there you go. So yeah, man, I'm just gonna enter the Batman zone and just live in there for however long it takes to defeat the game. I heard it's like 12 hours of gameplay, so that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's good. I can't wait. I'm definitely gonna get some pizza.
Yeah.
Definitely doing some pizza. Maybe I might go old school with the Code Red.
Oh yeah, got the Code Red.
But yeah, man, I'm definitely excited. It's like a little mini vacation. It's like a Batman vacation, a Batcation.
A Batcation.
There you go.
Tim, what about you, sir? You doing a midnight launch? You just going to do like day of type thing?
Yeah, since I ordered it from Amazon, it's kind of
that's right.
Whenever it gets here. But I kind of want it to be like perfect scenario when I play it too. So it's not going to be I get it, I pop it in right away. It's like I want to be done with everything I have to do for the day. No distractions.
Right.
Have my room dark, everything shut off. Just immerse myself into the game and just experience what Rocksteady is going to give me. And I like to pace myself too. Maybe I'm kind of in the minority here, but I'm someone who doesn't like to plow through a game right away and just kind of finish it as soon as possible. I kind of like to have it last for as long as I could. So
yeah.
I'm going to space myself a little bit and not like play it hours and hours because I kind of want the story to last and just get as most as I can out of it. So yeah, I just can't wait for that. When it gets here, just wait. When it hits night, I got to play it at night. I like having that night atmosphere, get immersed into the Batman world. So when it hits that time, and I'm done with everything I have to do, I'm just gonna be brought into the Arkham Knight world, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm with you too, Tim. I try and I'm not like when I watch Netflix stuff, I don't binge watch and just like plow through everything. Like I went through the whole, sorry Olivia and Stu and anybody else that watched Daredevil already. I haven't even watched it yet, but it's one of those. I don't want to go through it all right now. I kind of want to spread stuff out. I just finished the Flash and Arrow TV series, so kind of made those last a little bit longer. So yeah, I'm with you. Like once I start getting through a chunk of the game, I start going, okay, I want to go do some challenge maps for a while and not feel like, well, I just spent $60 or in my case $100 on this game and I beat it in 3 days. I'm done. I don't want to do that. So try and pace myself out a little bit. Like the only thing we didn't talk about real quick before we wrap this up, if you're okay, guys are okay with that, we didn't talk about the Batmobile at all. Many games of going, I wish we could drive the Batmobile. Wish we could drive the Batmobile. Is that something you're looking forward to? What's your take on being able to use the Batmobile? Is it going to be a crutch that, man, I've got to spend a lot of time in this car? They've gone out and saying, if you want to take down a tank as Batman, you could do that. It's just easier to take it out with the Batmobile. It sounds like the Riddler trophies, instead of, I think they said it was like 240 some odd. I was expecting there to be a lot more, but they wanted the trophies, as big as the world is, we'd be spending, months trying to track down 700 trophies. So it sounds like a majority of them are all Batmobile based. How do you guys feel about the Batmobile? What's like your percentage that you want to spend time in the Batmobile and as Batman yourself, Anthony?
Well, first thing I wanted to say about the Riddler is that, man, he really looks like Charlie Sheen.
And clearly, he is not winning.
He is not winning, no. But yeah, no, I got a feeling there's gonna be a lot of Batmobile in this. I got a feeling there's gonna be Batmobile boss battles. There's gonna be, you're gonna be really like, that's gonna be, it's like his main gadget, really, when you think about it. Batman's Batmobile is his go-to gadget, really. It's like the extension of himself, you know what I mean? Like that's like, Batman, and he's got a Batmobile. Like if you're anyone, so I feel like there's gonna be a lot of that in the game. Not just with the Riddler stuff. I feel like the main story is gonna have a lot to do with the Batmobile. I've actually heard that there's gonna be a ton of Batmobile stuff to do in this game. So it's gonna have a big impact on the game. So
does that bother you one way or the other? If it's like 50-50 split, or do you want like a 60-40 split? More Batman, a little less Batmobile, or do you want it split down the middle?
I'd like a 60-40. I like being able to get my hands dirty and like fight people and like do that stuff. I love Predator maps. Like it's one of my favorite things because you really feel like you're Batman when you're in a Predator map. Like you're Batman. Yeah. You have that mysterious thing like, oh my God, where is he? Where's the bat? I can't see him.
Yeah.
There he is. Tell the boss. I don't know. It's just like one of those things. Like you grab someone. It's silent. It's creepy. It's like you're creeping people out. You know what I mean? Like it's who Batman is. He instills fear. So
you got the fear takedowns this time.
Yeah,
that's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope there's a little bit more fighting than Batmobile in this.
Cool. Tim.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Anthony here. I mean, I'm someone who's excited for the Batmobile, but I was never one of those who would say, I wish I could drive the Batmobile like Arkham City and Arkham Origins. I'm excited for it because it's a cool new feature, but I wasn't like dying to have the Batmobile in it. So I'm kind of agree where I'm hoping it's a 60-40 percentage of how much you're going to be in it. I'm hoping for more Batman and just combat fighting with him out of the Batmobile instead of in it. And because I've actually, in some of the reviews I've read for it already, one of the main complaints I'm hearing about is that when you're in tank mode, it's like, they're not saying it's bad, but it's one of like the lesser fun aspects of the game is when you're in that tank mode of the Batmobile. So hopefully it won't be too much of it. So But it should be fun to race down the streets though when you're trying to get to a destination instead of kind of swinging and gliding over the city. It will be cool to drive the Batmobile and get there. So I'm excited for that. Just hope it doesn't take more out of you fighting as Batman when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd like a nice 60-40 split, and don't. I like that you can kind of use the car to eject yourself higher.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining, through a lot of the challenges, where it's like glide for 150 meters. That distance is probably going to be a lot longer, and using the Batmobile at a longer rate of speed, and then to be able to eject yourself out of. So I just think this game is going to have a lot to offer. Knowing that we are 4 days away just kind of blows my mind. Trying not to get overly excited about it and go, all right, once we got to June, okay, it's 23 days, and just, marking the time and go, okay, that's 4 Fridays from now, all that stuff. So,
because it feels like it's been forever. Like, it's like,
yeah.
Oh my God, finally, we're here.
So, I've kind of used this as a placeholder. It's like, I've been thinking about Batman versus Superman, but all right, we've got Arkham.
Yeah.
And then we've got Star Wars. So using these little placeholders to get us to, I'm not trying to think about Batman versus Superman. This has honestly been the thing I've been thinking about the most once it was announced. It's kind of like, Star Wars is going to happen. We know it's going to happen. We know that, Batman versus Superman is going to happen, but it's still so far out there. I couldn't quite wrap my head around it, but this has been the ever looming thing. They have said it's the end of the Arkham series. I don't know if that's like saying we're not doing another Batman game again, or if it's like, okay, that's the Arkham trilogy, now we've got a new Batman thing, or maybe it's a Justice League, or maybe, I guess the last question we'll leave here, whatever Rocksteady comes out with next, if it's, who knows what it is, are you, now that we've had 3 wonderful games with Rocksteady, are you invested in the company to go, I'll check out your next game. I'm eager to see it, regardless if it's Batman or Justice League or My Little Pony, or whatever it is. What do you think, guys?
I'm definitely going to check out what they have to offer next, as long as it has something to do with superheroes. I have no problem with it. Whether they go the Marvel brand or stay with DC, I don't care which one they do. I think the next natural step is one of 2 options for them. They should really think about doing a Justice League game, or really think about doing a Superman game. I mean, how cool would that be to fly around as Superman and just like, oh my God, just go OP on people and just, or fight Brainiac, or do like, fly into space, fly out of the Earth's atmosphere. How cool would that be? Like, what kind of map would that be like? Like, you'd have to, my God, the largest map of all time. But I think that's the next natural step for them. They should pick another character and just go with that. Yeah, definitely. Or even if they started with Bat family members, or did that, like, just went a different route. And they said it's going to be the end of the Arkham series, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they could just start with, like, the regular continuity with what's going on right now, or pre-New 52. They could go that route. Or just a Justice League game in general. You could do that, where you're switching through characters, or have it do co-op like we all really want, and so we could all play together. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind that it's ending. I think that if Warner Brothers Montreal got together and did another prequel or in between one, that would be cool if they gave them the right to do that. But I don't mind that it's ending. It's okay.
Cool. Tim.
Yeah, I mean, Rocksteady has pretty much proven themselves over and over again with these Batman games. So whatever they do next, I'm probably going to be buying it. I mean, unless it's like it comes out and gets horrible reviews or whatever. But I doubt that's the case. So I'll be on board with whatever they do. And I remember back, I think it was after Arkham Asylum came out, maybe a little bit before Arkham City, that I was hearing that their next project that they were going to do was a rumor that they were going to be doing like a Ninja Turtles game, and I'd be like, man, I'd be all for that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
We need a new great Ninja Turtles game.
Yes.
Since the Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo. So if we got that with Rocksteady, we got co-op, and it's just like or in vain to the Arkham games, I'd be super excited. But I kind of have a feeling that after 3 Batman games, maybe they want to just from a creative standpoint, maybe branch out a little bit outside the superhero genre and maybe do something original. 'Cause I know that's probably something most studios want to do. So I kind of have a feeling there will be some new IP that they have. But like I said, whatever it is, I'll definitely be checking it out because, yeah, they've proven themselves with these Arkham games. So looking forward to see what they do next, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Do you guys have anything else to add here? I think I said I wanted to keep us right around an hour. We're like at 17 minutes now into the 3 o'clock hour, depending on the time zone that you're in. So I'm holding my Robin Bow staff here. So, yeah, I know everybody out there is excited for the game. I know for the three of us here that, as you could tell, we're huge Batman fans, and we're eager for the game. So, be cool out there. Try not to be spoilerish if you're somebody that beats the game ahead of other people. Let other people have the opportunity to fill these things out. And when you're posting stuff online, don't go, "Oh, the Arkham Knight is blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
Be cool about it, and let everybody kind of have the experience that we've all been waiting almost 2 years for now. So if you guys have anything else, Anthony, I did watch our reaction to the very first trailer, the father and son video, and the phrase we kept saying over and over again, I wrote it, is, "How does my fist taste? It tastes
like justice."
Tastes like justice. So I hope there's a lot of fist tasting that Batman is delivering in this game. I cannot wait for it. So
I'm definitely excited for some new one-liners from Batman before he punches someone.
Yeah.
I like the one where he's like, "You do this again, and I'll break the other one." Break the other what? Ow!
That's something else I always thought was kind of cool. Like, after you died, you would get the villain coming up going, "Hey, he's not looking so good," all that type of stuff. I always thought was kind of cool. So
yeah, that's cool.
I'm looking forward to that. Before we end here, ODC.
Wait, I want to say one more thing. I am really excited. Thank you, Rocksteady, for including Black Mask in this game, because I know he's going to be in the game. That's all I want to say to you, Rocksteady. Thank you. Thank you for including him in some way in this game.
He's going to be the antithesis for Red Hood, is that right?
Yeah, perfect. Two of my favorite characters together. Right. Fine. I have no problem with that. Awesome. Thank you.
So, Anthony, we know where to find you on YouTube. As ODC, that's me. You're reviewing. You got some cool stuff coming up.
Yep.
So go definitely check out Anthony's channel. He's got some great stuff coming up. But Tim, where can the viewers and listeners find you if they do not already know?
Yeah, I mainly interact on Twitter. That's where you can find me talking most of the time. I'm at TimG311, and then you can follow my podcast I do, like you mentioned, Rob, the Bat Fans podcast at BatFans27 on Twitter and our Facebook page. And then I'll go ahead and do a plug if I can for my Star Wars podcast. Star Wars: The Saga Continues. You can find our podcast and website at StarWarsTSC.com, and then on Twitter at StarWarsTSC. So that's where you can find me on social media. So like I said, Twitter is the main area where I interact and chat with people on there. So that's where you'll find me.
Cool. Right on, and you know where to find this guy here, my channel here, and I'm on Twitter as well as DrummerRob10. So it's a lot of drumming stuff that I do, but if you want to see that stuff, it's there as well. And you can find me on Facebook as well, and ODC as well. So on behalf of the Rogue Show, thanks for tuning in to this special edition of Batman Arkham Knight. 4 days, folks. Can you believe it? I can actually count them on one hand. So it's so awesome. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I think we maintained right around the average of 7 to 9 viewers. So thank you for those of you that tuned in. If you missed the show, you can catch the stream after it renders. So we'll see you guys 4 days. See ya.
Be the Batman.
See ya.